Hi, everyone, and welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm Marty Snider from NBC Sports. This is Chris Rice from right here at NASCAR.com. Also, Colleague Racing is our crew chief here at NASCAR.com. And I want to ask you about Jimmie Johnson's big win at Martinsville. You know, is it fair to say he might have been a surprise winner? Because even though he's won 8 times there before going into that race, they hadn't been that good the last few years at Martinsville, and honestly didn't look that good in the race until they took the lead.
Well, I know you wasn't on the show last week, but I picked the 48 to go win. So
I shouldn't be surprised.
You shouldn't be surprised, but no, I'm not surprised that Jimmie Johnson won. But what I am surprised about is how bad he was through the middle of the race. He wasn't that good, and he hasn't been that good at late. Remember, he's won all the championships before this chase scenario come along, and now it's took him a couple of years, but you better look out. They're going to Homestead for a championship. Yeah. They know how to win championships for sure.
With a couple weeks to think about it as well. You mentioned all those championships, now going for his 7th title officially now. He's kind of said he didn't want to really talk about it. Is that realistic for them to win a 7th championship this year?
Absolutely. We've seen it time and time again. When everybody gets to Homestead, all 4 of the chasers run up front. Even if that's a bad racetrack for them, somehow or another, the crew chiefs, the crews, everybody on that team figures out how to make their car run well at that racetrack, and it is an awesome race. Jimmie Johnson knows how to win. He has a very good shot to win a race or win the championship there at Homestead and the race.
Well, we saw Jimmie Johnson and Denny Hamlin get into it on the racetrack, and then afterwards Jimmie said, I don't know what Denny's cooking in his head. There's really no rivalry here. So let me ask you that. Is this a rivalry that continues, or does it fizzle out?
No, it does not fizzle out. I can tell you, it is a lot of pressure. It does not fizzle out. And Denny Hamlin will remember that if he doesn't get in to go to Homestead. He'll race him just as hard as Jimmie raced him at Martinsville.
The teamwork has worked very well for JGR, and they're all 4 still in it. I mean, Carl Edwards has a lot of ground to gain. How long does that teamwork continue? Do they go into the meeting this week and say, hey, it's all bets are off, every team for themselves this week?
Well, I don't think it's a meeting about that, and it's a meeting about all bets are off. What I think is they know that each one of them needs to get into the chase, okay? They need to make the final round. If they could have had all 4 cars into it, how awesome would that have been for Joe Gibbs Racing to go to Homestead and know that they're going to win a championship? Now, I'm telling you, it's only 3 spots left. It's going to be war between them to figure out who's going to get the next spot. Remember, every spot is a point, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Every spot is a point, and that matters when it comes down to the cut time after Phoenix.
Well, and maybe that's the pressure, right? I mean, they know Jimmie Johnson's in, so one of the 4 is not going to make it. So now they're starting to say, hey, okay, one of us in this room's not going to make it, when they thought originally, you know, hey, wait, you never know, all 4 of us might make it.
And Carl Edwards can win at Phoenix, okay?
Sure.
Let's don't forget about that. Carl Edwards can win, so he's not out yet.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the chase grid. Speaking of Carl Edwards, he is unfortunately on the bottom of that chase grid. You got Kevin Harvick in there, 16 points out. I want to ask you, as we head to Texas, are you worried about the 4 team? I mean, obviously Phoenix is in this round, but how many times can you go to that well and say, we're going to win with our back to the wall?
No, I'm not worried about the 4 team because they run well at Texas. They run well at Phoenix. So that's 2 racetracks that I feel they run well at. So I'm not worried about them. But what I'm worried about is all the other teams they're racing also run well at those racetracks. So they got to do something at Texas to be able to gain some points just in case they do not win when they go to Phoenix.
All right, time for us to make our picks. Who are you going to go with this weekend, Rice?
I'm going with, let's think about it. I'm going with the 18 car of Kyle Busch, okay? And the reason why is because Xfinity Series he runs so well in. He knows what he needs in his race car, and it translates at a place that doesn't have a lot of grip. The Gibbs cars have been super fast, not just a little fast. They've been super fast everywhere they go. So Kyle Busch is my pick this weekend.
I'm going to go with a non-chaser. I'm going to go with another Toyota, though. I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. this weekend. Seems like when these races get to night and then Texas does end in the dark, they're awfully good. Make sure you keep it parked right here on NASCAR.com all weekend long. Live leaderboards, in-car audio, all the news updates before and after the Texas race. Next week, it is Phoenix. We'll tell you who we think will be in the Final 4. It's going to be an exciting weekend. In the meantime, enjoy the Texas races, everyone.